Hello and happy gaming, everyone. This is Dark Sage Walker, and I hope you're having a fantastic freaking day out there. I was just about to go make some cheesecakes for Thanksgiving, but I thought I would stop and have a look at some of the news as to what's been going on in the gaming world recently. And of course, the big news right now is Google Stadia. Have you heard about the uproaring, monstrous success that Stadia is? How everyone who got the Stadia has been super happy with their results. How they've been playing games over the cloud with no problems and no... I'm sorry, I couldn't keep that one up with a straight face. Nope, Google Stadia is just a giant disaster. And frankly, just about everyone saw that one coming. No one thought that Stadia was going to be just a rip-roaring success. No, sir, not the way that we saw it. There's a number of problems with Stadia, and just to go over just a brief rundown, PC Chrome gameplay won't support 4K HDR or 5.1 surround sound. Oh, thanks. PC players, hope you feel loved. Stream Connect not there. State Share not there. Google Assistant integration's not there. Family sharing. Don't expect them to ever put that one out there. If someone only has to pay once for a game and everyone in their immediate family group can play it, oh no, 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 no. No, sir, I don't think they're ever going to put that one out. They say the feature is planned for edition early next year. And who knows what that means, but it's also, if they decide, no, we're not going to do that, wouldn't be the first time we've seen a big game company just fuck off on one of their promises. Think Bethesda on that one. No UI for achievements or achievement notification. The only ones that will work with Stadia on the only Chromecast Ultras that will work with Stadia on day one are the ones that ship with the Founders and Premier bundles. They just shipped out the Buddy Passes, which, now that we've had a little while to see how Stadia works, why would anyone want to try this 3-month free trial of Google Stadia? That's almost like saying, hey, I know we're friends right now, but let me amend that with this Buddy Pass. You need your phone to do anything. You can't buy games through just a dedicated store page or anything. No, but all buying games and initial setup has to be done through your phone. So thanks for showing us the future, Google. And there's a lot more going wrong with it. Like, it's just a... Ugh. Probably, to me, what seems to be the biggest problem is the amount of data that Stadia uses. For a lot of the highest end visuals and some of the biggest games, the Stadia app does warn you of this, but I think it's worth pointing out just how people have been experiencing this. That you could be looking at using up as much data as almost 20 gigabytes an hour. Now, a lot of the results that people have been showing have been saying between 4 to 12. That doesn't sound so bad, but we'll get into that later. The problem is, of course, that most people don't have unlimited data to sit and play games with. And that seemed like one of the biggest problems that game streaming was going to have to overcome. Is how are you going to make it so that you don't burn through your data cap and all of the data available to you on a monthly basis just instantly? And the good news is that Stadia's answer to that is shut up and give us money. Yeah, sorry, don't have a lot of good things to say about Stadia, and recently we've come across another bit of interesting news. So in their advertising and their lead up to the release, all of that, they boasted that games will be able to be played on at 4K quality 60 FPS all the time. Like, there is no reason why that should ever not be a thing. Now, to be fair, they might have said up to 4K 60, at which point those two little words are doing a lot of work for Google right now. Because if those two words weren't there, there'd be lawsuits. And allow me to explain why. Basically, what people have been noticing is that despite Google's promises, despite their, comparing the amount of teraflops that they have available on their GPUs equaling up to more than both the Xbox One X and the PlayStation 4 Pro combined, yeah, these games are not running at 4K 60 at all. According to the 9 to 5 Google page, Google Stadia is an ambitious project that, unfortunately, is off to a rough start. Why is that unfortunate? Thanks to lofty expectations, head-scratching decisions, and annoying hiccups. Yeah, I wouldn't call the amount of input lag that Stadia has just an annoying hiccup. That is I don't want to play this game here because there is no way I can react to anything that's happening on the screen right now. However, looking past most of that, I don't know how you would have to, the biggest problem that Stadia currently faces is that Google has been heavily exaggerating about the quality of 4K games on the service. What? Why is that the biggest problem? To me, that seems like, a secondary problem to the idea that the games don't run well. But I've never been someone to harp on the visuals. I've always been a gameplay first kind of person. But if I were a person that were supremely only interested in visuals, yeah, this would piss me off. And to be fair, it's a problem. It's a big problem, but to me, it's not Stadia's biggest problem. But let's read on. See, a lot of the reviews that have been coming out have been showing that most of the games that they say, oh, they run at 1080p. No. Let's actually get some insight on this. In its review, The Verge spoke to Bungie, the developers behind Destiny 2, and confirmed that Stadia's version of the game isn't the same 4K version as on other platforms. Rather, Destiny 2 on Stadia renders at 1080p and is upscaled to improve the quality. In other words, Destiny 2 currently never plays in 4K on Stadia. Big surprise. Now, it could partially be to blame that it's difficult to get that running in on actual streaming service instead of on local hardware, but they're the ones that said, oh, we're so much more powerful, let us take care of the tech on our end, and all you have to do is just get in and play the game on your end. It's going to be so much better. Bullshit! And that problem extends to other games as well. Red Dead Redemption 2, another big name for the platform, also doesn't play in true 4K. Eurogamer confirmed that the game only renders at 1440p and is then upscaled to 4K on the Chromecast Ultra. The quality difference is also very obvious when you look at the game side by side with its 4K version on the Xbox One X. And looking down here at the screenshots, yeah, it's pretty noticeable. It is not the same game. And that's the thing. These are two games that really really need that 4K quality. I'm not going to say need because I said I'm not a big person to just jump out of my seat for the visuals. I'm more of a gameplay first person, but yeah, these are games that definitely marketed themselves on the visuals. Let's see. So a lot of these issues have been brought up to Google, and hey, Google responded. Let's see. Here we go. Google has since responded to this situation with further details about the quality of games on Stadia. A Google spokesperson tells us that Stadia streams at 4K 60 FPS with developers working behind the scenes to deliver the best streaming experience for every game. Okay, so let's actually go over what their marketing, I'm not sure it's marketing rep, but let's see what their response is. Stadia streams at 4K and 60 FPS, and that includes all aspects of our graphics pipeline, from game to screen. GPU, encoder, and Chromecast Ultra all outputting at 4K to 4K TVs with the appropriate internet connection. Developers making Stadia games work hard to deliver the best streaming experience for every game. Like you see on all platforms, this includes a variety of techniques to achieve the best overall quality. We give developers the freedom of how to achieve the best image quality and frame rate on Stadia, and we are impressed with what they have been able to achieve for day one. We expect that many developers can, and in most cases will, continue to improve their games on Stadia, and because Stadia lives in our data centers, developers are able to innovate quickly while delivering even better experiences directly to you without the need for game patches or downloads. Let me rephrase that. Y'all are wrong. Shut up. Give us money. So basically, what they just said here is, y'all are stupid. It's all 4K. And if it doesn't look right, it's the developer's fault. They need to do better. Give us money. And they're really jumping on the whole point of, oh, you don't need to wait for game patches or downloads or any of that. It's perfect. Well, again, if one could look past the input lag, maybe. But the input lag for games that require fast reactions, games like, I don't know, Destiny 2, Borderlands 3, Samurai Showdown. Oh, what? Those are all games that are on Stadia? Well, shut my mouth. Yeah, those games you need to be able to react quickly, otherwise you're not going to be able to do what you want to do. And, shock of shocks, that's one of the things that Stadia has a huge problem with, because, hey, who knew that having to send the signal from your game controller over the internet to Google's computers, have it translate there, and then send it all the way back to your internet so you can see what happened? Hey, who knew that would cause input lag? Oh my goodness, it's almost like it's an inferior way to play games when you could just have the files on your computer locally that react nearly instantaneously to what you're trying to do. Really, really odd, that. And let's not even get into the point that Stadia is causing these Chromecast Ultras to overheat and just plain old shut down. So, on top of all of the missing features, on top of the input lag, on top of the overheating Chromecast, now we've got the graphical fidelity issues. Guys, your service is crap. It's gonna continue to be crap, and I'm not gonna say it will always be crap, but you certainly did not release this in a state that was ready for prime time. And let's be fair, most of us who are really into gaming are not super happy about the idea of not having any control over our ownership of the products. And you've said, oh no, these games are yours to use, but to me, that doesn't ring true. When everything is being handled from your data centers, that means that the moment that you decide, time to call it quits, guess what? Your games are gone. Because we're not downloading anything to be used locally. We're not keeping anything stored here. No, this is something that you guys are very strictly keeping on your end of things. So the whole idea of ownership, something that the big game industry in general seems to not want us to have, is very much up in the air, if non-existent. Pile that on top of all of the other problems, and Stadia is just poised to be a gigantic, massive failure. And it kind of already is. I mean, let's look at it very, very objectively. The statement that Google put out, they're pretty much just saying, yeah, you gamers are stupid, shut up. They're completely dismissing all of this because they, don't want to face problems? They think that, they obviously think that they're right. They've been God, I suck. They've been spending all of this time simply sitting in their little echo chamber, smelling their own fucking farts, and then pretending like we're the ones that have the problems. Pretending like, oh, the developers are the ones who should be developing for the best image quality and frame rate. No, the problem is on your end, Google. This is your problem. It's your problem! You guys did not deliver on your promises. You guys did not deliver on the on the performance that you said was going to be there and that you showed mathematically was going to be the ideal. And big surprise, you fucked it up. You blew it. And I'm not all that sad about it. Everyone knew this was going to be a huge problem from moment one. Everyone knew exactly what the issues were going to be. And we saw this dumpster fire coming a mile away. And how do you guys cover up for it? By telling us we're stupid. Oh, and let's not forget the gender-neutral controller. Yes, yes. Oh, my God, I can't believe I forgot about that. Hold on. Let's go ahead and pull this up because this is just ridiculous. Control. Yeah, I spelled it wrong, but there we go. Google Stadia gender-neutral controller. Yeah, Google promotes gender-neutral controller as Stadia's selling point. Woohoo! You guys gotta be fucking kidding me with this. It's gender-neutral controller. Okay, so let's see. Where is the actual statement from Phil Harrison about this? I'm trying to find it, but basically what makes it such a gender-neutral control... I'm sorry, gender-neutral. I know you guys can't see me doing the air quotes, but trust me, they're there. Is that it's a little bit smaller, and it's wasabi green. Wasabi green? Ah, shit, ladies, get in line. You gotta have this shit. It's gender neutral. Man, it caters to you. You guys gotta go out and get this shit. I want to know who actually feels that this is even moderately a selling point. Oh, here we go. In a short promotional video, Google industrial designer Jason Pai states that the controllers were intentionally made to be easier for smaller hands to grip, specifically noting that the controller was made for small and large hands, so it's super usable for a large segment of gamers that aren't always appreciated. Okay, we know what you're saying with that. Now, I've not had a chance to hold a Stadia controller. I don't know if it's any good or not. There are definitely people out there that are saying it's on par with the levels of the worst third-party controllers on the market. I don't know how much I trust that particular take. The controller doesn't look that far out of sorts with other controllers that I've used. Sorry. And to be fair, when I'm playing my Switch, I'm either using it in handheld or playing on my TV with a Nintendo Switch Pro controller, which I rather like. It has its issues, but I still like it. And on my PC, I play with one of the third-party Afterglow Xbox One controllers, which has been working well for me for a long time now. Oh, here it is. In an interview with CNN Business, Google VP and head of Stadia, Phil Harrison, boasted that the Stadia controller's design was different from some of our historic competitors in the console space, who have been a bit more masculine and a bit more mechanical in their approach. Okay, so you're saying that women who currently play the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and the Nintendo Switch, they have a hard time working the controller? You're saying that there are no women out there who play these systems because the controller is too masculine? If that's the case, did any of these women have the same problem with the Nintendo 64 controller? Easily the most masculine controller out there. What about people using the Duke controller from the old Xbox days? Was that controller too masculine as well? Or are you just falling back on this, the controller is smaller. It takes up a different console space. Guys, what the hell? And I like this bit at the end. Some of our historical competitors in the console space who have been a bit more masculine and a bit more mechanical in their approach. You are seriously saying right there, yeah, our controllers don't stack up, but who cares, gender neutral? Ah! It's wasabi green! Get the fuck out of here with this shit. No one cares about that. No one wants to play with an inferior controller. No one wants to play with an inferior product in general. Get your head out of your ass and either fix Stadia, make it what you promised it was going to fucking be, or get it off the market. You guys are seriously just doing nothing but insulting both the players and the developers with this shit. Seriously. You guys have seriously lost all respect, at least with me, if not for the rest of the gaming community. Get the fuck out of here with this shit. Well, that's all I've got, and now I'm going to go make a couple of cheesecakes to celebrate Thanksgiving with. So, everyone, thank you very much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that fun stuff, and we will talk to you later. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and I will be seeing you. Oh, and by the way, Indivisible is really good.